Welcome to Smart Haus, a Pittsburgh podcast about smart technology, artificial intelligence, virtual reality, and the future. I'm your host, Dustin Dowling, and with me today is Chicago comedian Matt Banwart. Matt, what is up?
Not much, man. I made it in Pittsburgh. I'm alive. I'm glad to be here. I'm a little tired from travel and sleeping on couches, but it is what it is.
Yeah, couches and podcasts. That's what you've been up to.
My two favorite things.
Isn't that funny now how, like, being a comedian and I guess a traveling comedian, now there's this extra thing of, like, doing the circuit. You got to do, like, the local circuit.
Yeah.
Because you're on another podcast, right?
Yeah, I was on another. I did a Corey's podcast. I don't know if I should be giving him promotion.
That's fine.
I just did another podcast. The episode was fine. It was a fine episode.
Fine.
Watch this one over the other one. I feel better about this one.
All right, that's great. That's great. So this is a tech show, and I call it Smart Haus, but the problem is I don't do a great Yinzer accent, but that's why it's called Smart Haus. And I wish you could do a Yinzer accent. Do you guys in Chicago, is there like a local way of talking?
We say Jagoff in Chicago.
Oh, you say Jagoff?
Yeah, Jagoff. Yeah.
All right.
Jagoff.
That's cool.
I have one of my friends in Chicago. He's like a little Italian man. And he was like, "Oh, this is so fucking delicious, man. You fucking Jagoff. Get out of my fucking street." And whenever he gets mad, it's full on like a Chicago Italian, and it's my favorite thing.
See, my issue is I'm actually like north of Pittsburgh, so I don't have like a Yinzer accent. I have this like like redneck, like kind of, it's like attempting to be like Yinzer would be cool for us.
Yeah.
So I just kind of talk with a lot of slurs, and then everything has plurals. Like we go to Walmart's, you turn down on those roads down there's everything's pluralized.
Really?
Yeah, and it's just, I don't know what it is. I think it's a slur thing. I can't get out of it.
Yeah, and it is so funny. You turned it on, and now you can't get it off.
Yeah, that's terrible. Because at one point, I think some people were making fun of me. Yeah. And I would say some words like Washington or wash my clothes.
Oh yeah, dude.
And people look at me weird, so I would mentally got rid of a lot of it.
Yeah.
But I can float easily back
into
into
drives me crazy. Worst kills me, dude. We had
crazy.
Yeah, dude. We had this guy growing up, old man, who just was like around, and he owned the grocery store in town. I grew up in a small town in rural Iowa, so technology really is my forte.
That's perfect.
No, but he would always say "warsh," and I was like, "Oh, something about it makes me want to punch someone in the face."
It does. That's terrible because the reason it really bugs me is it's my mom says it, and it makes me want to punch her in the face. Which is
Did you say mum?
My mother. Yeah, my mom. Did I say it wrong?
You said mum.
See, I'm stuck in like all these weird accents now. My mum. My mum.
Mum is. I have my parents on my phone as mum and pops.
Pops.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know, just for the fun of it.
You actually call him Pops, or
no? Not at all. No. I call my dad by his first name.
That's so rude. Why do you do that?
I don't know. I'm a rude man.
You're just a rude man.
I'm a rude boy. Quote Rihanna.
I could see like if he would see your phone, would he like question that? He's like, why am I in there as Pops?
I don't know. I don't think he would look through my phone.
Oh, I was like, sometimes he's just like leaning over.
Yeah, I don't know.
This being a tech show, what kind of phone do you have?
I have a Google Pixel 5.
You're a Pixel boy.
I love me pixels.
Why did you go Pixel?
I've had like 4 Pixels, and they're always like 2 generations behind because I'm very poor.
Okay.
And also, I feel like the perks of the Pixel phones is they do everything I need them to do, and there's nothing extra. It feels like it's like it does all the smartphone stuff you need a smartphone to do, and there's no unnecessary like features.
Okay. So it's just like less for you. Like you don't need to have that in your way.
I'm truly the most vanilla of phone users. I'm the missionary sex of phones. When it comes to phone, truly, I'm just like, I like my Pixel. It does the fundamentals well. It's the Larry Bird of phones, okay? It is what it is.
Oh, my God. That's hilarious. So, like, then when you travel around, are you still using it for your GPS and all that stuff? Or
yeah, it is all that.
Okay.
It is GPS. It is maps.
Yeah, I know.
It's still a functional
maybe
device.
You're just, like, barely using it. You're only using it for text and maybe, like, one other thing.
Yeah, I use it forever. I video call. I do all that jazz. Okay. All the modern-day technology.
Yeah, you're trying to unfancy yourself, but you're just as fancy as everybody.
Yeah, I do TikTok. I make the videos.
You do
I'm
make
out there.
The videos.
Yeah, I've had a lot of complaints about my video quality though. So it is that is my one.
Is that because of like your phone's older? That's it.
Yeah, I wish I need a better video.
Well, we are recording, and the backup camera is in 4K, so I'll send that all to you. You can do what you want.
Good. I need podcast clips.
You need podcast clips.
Put it on TikTok. Make people realize that I do have access to good cameras.
That's funny. It's weird. Like when I go through TikTok, and I do notice if it's in better quality, I will definitely watch it more.
Yeah.
But there are people that have quality TikToks. But if you can overcome that, that's when you know you're really funny.
Yeah.
If you can make people laugh from your flip phone, like that's when I think
Yes.
you're killing it out
I want to
there.
clarify it again. A Pixel 5 is not a flip phone. Okay, it's not what, iPhone 13? Is that what we're on now? Are we on 13?
No, I think it's 14.
Damn it.
I know. Yeah, it's like it's crazy. And what's crazy? Not only is 14, like there's a selection. There's like 10, 14.
Yeah. There's like the A and the S and the
Yeah,
like
and
half
E
the
and
alphabet.
Z.
Yeah.
Like I don't even. It's crazy. Yeah, and they skipped 9.
Yes, they went straight to X or 10 or
Yes.
That was weird.
10 or X because they didn't want to be, because another company, it might have been even Google or another Samsung device, they had a 10 out and they didn't want to be the
really?
9 against the 10.
That's so
it wouldn't
funny.
look good branding wise.
That's so silly.
It
I
is.
love that.
It is funny. Do you have any other pieces of technology? You have an Alexa or a Google Home?
No, I'm poor.
They're actually kind of cheap. They're cheap on purpose because they want your data.
Yeah, that's 100% what it is.
Yeah.
No, I don't have an Alexa, but I'm a desktop computer that I love very much. I do digital marketing. I do a lot of video editing.
Mm-hmm.
So I have like a computer that was like literally built just to do like a bunch of video editing, and
Okay.
that's it.
Well,
So,
that's my bag, by the way, is video editing.
Yes,
That is
sir.
like my main thing I do in life in the world. So
you
what
want to
editing?
take some work off me?
Yeah. or one or the other. I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah, I use Premiere Pro.
Okay, you're a Premiere Pro guy.
What do you got?
Well, I've been Premiere Pro guy forever. Before that was the Final Cut.
I knew it.
I made that change, when it everyone was like, we got to jump over. So I went to Premiere, but DaVinci
I knew you were going to say DaVinci.
has
I
been
knew
itching at me, and I've been hearing more people talk about
the
it.
color correcting.
Yeah, well, just it's all in. It doesn't crash supposedly less, and it's all in one app. So I do have it on my home computer.
This guy.
Yeah, what do you think I'm a traitor?
This guy. He's not loyal to the Adobe brand, really? Coward. No,
I know,
joking.
but then I find myself I'm such an editor, and I have spent so much time.
Yeah.
Like I can edit full keyboard. I don't even need the mouse.
Wow,
I'm
I
really
love that. Yeah, I know
I'm
what you-
exaggerating.
I
there,
know
but-
what you mean, though.
But the first couple drafts, I can just run through the shortcuts.
Oh yeah, dude. I'm truly I'm getting there. I'm not there yet, but I'm kind of
Okay.
fiend with like
This we're getting to maybe the nerdiest smart house yet, by the way. So this is
nerdiest, but not the smartest. I'll take it.
well, that's kind of half the joke. I don't
There's-
even spell house correctly.
Yeah, I love it. Well, I also love. There's something so beautiful when you watch someone work at a program. No matter what it is, it's the same thing with watching someone who's really good at playing the keyboard or an instrument.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes,
Someone
that's
who's good at
exactly
playing
how I
piano. It's
compare
when
it.
you watch someone who's editing or whatever CAD, whatever their thing is, right?
Mm-hmm.
I have friends who are audio engineers. When you watch someone work a software at just a high IQ where you don't know half of the buttons that's such a beautiful thing to watch.
Yeah, it's like watching a 3-year-old on an iPad. You're just how are they doing that?
How are you doing? Yeah, it's beautiful. No, it's it's sexy, borderline sexy, borderline erotic.
So I did some work at.
So that's my kink. My kink is keyboard.
So have you edited for a group of people ever, for an ad agency or for a gig or anything? Like
Yeah, I
that?
have. I like the idea of bringing women over and being like, "Hey, what are you good at, huh?" I get the entire creative cloud. You know what I mean? I'll open up auditions. Okay, you make me a beat, I'll fuck you. That's the only thing.
I feel kind of bad because now that you say that out loud, I feel like I might have done that on some set. I've definitely have sat down and been oh, this is what I do for work, and I'm probably gone too far with it.
Yeah.
But to be honest, though, the most impressive thing.
You're the lame version of a guitar guy,
Yeah.
who brings her over and is yeah, let me play you Wonderwall. You're
Yeah.
hey, one sec. Watch me put on captions real quick. In the fucking.
It's even worse. If I know someone's coming over, I'll make sure I have the color wheels up on the desktop so that software looks better in the windows.
Yo, you see these highlights? Too red.
Yeah.
Yo, this is just about to be so cinematic. Watch this.
Have a filter already set up with the color correction correctly. See, this is what log looks like. This is what I did. Click.
Oh, one second. Are these the keyframes? Are these? Look at that. It goes in and out so smooth, so seamlessly.
I swear to God.
The motion tracking's perfect.
I swear to God, I just had this conversation.
She's like, dear Lord, play soft rock for me instead. I'd rather.
Yeah, it's you have Spotify, right? It's the next question.
Just turn on some music. Play something fun.
Oh man, That's so damn funny. Now I think you wrecked me, man. I don't know what what my game's gonna be like.
Turn
now.
around, she has like rose petals and a candle lit, and you're like, babe, I gotta finish this project. I just realized I got a deadline to meet. That's so funny.
That is great. That is great. We'll have to adjust how I bring women home, I guess, to
dude,
make this work at all.
You gotta stop showing off Da Vinci, okay? It's not a good look. No, yeah, but yeah, I do freelance work for like a video marketing company.
Okay, that's cool.
I mainly like consult them for like, mainly what it is, it's these companies that make videos, and they're making like traditional advertisements and they're throwing them up on social media and being like, why aren't these traditional advertisements work? And I'm like, social media is like a totally different game. Like you can't just like be like ad. You have to be like fun interactive thing, fun interactive thing, fun interactive thing. Informative ad, fun interactive thing, fun interactive.
And then
thing,
sometimes I get angry about it because I've been watching a couple
I hate
ads.
it.
Well, the TikTok way was there was some video where someone went and fell, and then the joke always was you do the cut, and then it's someone else.
Yes, yeah.
And then I saw it lately. I'm like, that's an old TikTok. It fell, and there was an ad, and I was like, ugh! Like it made me angry. Like
That's
you
so
got
funny.
me. You fucking got me.
Yeah, well, there's ways to do it that can be like more informative, but that's kind of what I do. It's like companies are like, we're trying to sell people stuff, and it's like, yeah, if every post is just a sales pitch, like why would I follow?
Yeah,
that?
no one even cares.
Yeah, like what's the point?
Yeah, I feel like I fell out of that years ago with because I just watch media like I'm very obsessed.
Yeah.
So I'm so sensitive to sponsor ads. You got to be either has to be a great ad. Or the sponsor just works so good with the content. Yeah. But I'm just so quickly go, get the fuck out. I just hate it. That's why I like TikTok at first. It was almost adless at first.
It was for a hot minute. Well, it's this beauty of like, I think Twitter was the platform where it was so obvious, where it was like Wendy's and Denny's and like so many companies, literally like Wendy's is a meme page. Like Denny's is a meme page. And then that's why I'm talking about them now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because
like,
Wendy's Twitter is great.
Yeah, like why would I ever follow IHOP? You know what I mean? Like who give Denny's or whatever? I don't even, it might be IHOP or it might be both, honestly. Why would I ever follow Denny's? Like why would it ever register in my mind to follow like a chain waffle company?
Yeah, right.
Oh, because they're hysterical, and I think about them all the time, and that's
yeah. And at some point, someone got that, you know. And they're like, oh, this is how we do it. You don't necessarily have to put out like we have $2 hamburgers, you know.
It's like, oh, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck. I mean?
Yeah. I've never seen a tweet been like, damn, I got to get to Denny's right now. You know, but I have seen something, and I'll talk about it to my friends, and then you know now they're spreading awareness, and next time you see a Denny's, you think favorably of them, and damn it, now they made it onto the Smart House podcast.
Yep, and brand awareness, it works, everybody. That's see, it's educational too. That's what the show's all about, for real.
We're learning.
Yeah, we're totally learning. So if you don't have a lot of devices, I'm assuming maybe have you tried? That's just straight up. Have you tried virtual reality?
No.
Yeah, so you've never.
Yeah, no, actually, yeah. Last year for Thanksgiving, my or like Christmas or whatever. My family like never planned stuff, so we'll get together for stuff, and like my parents were like, everyone come back to Iowa, and so we'll go back to Iowa, and then there's like nothing to do. They didn't plan anything. They live right outside Des Moines, so there's like a small city. Right. There's like things going on, and it's like, well, we like out of nowhere, like we're just gonna go to this VR lounge that opened up, and it was literally in like an abandoned high school's like gym. It was the sketchiest VR lounge fathomable. And yeah, we did that. We did VR as
just like an Oculus and a chair in the middle of the gym. Like
they had like 10 Oculuses.
Yeah,
they had like it was kind of cool. We didn't do this particularly, but we probably should have. They had like VR like laser tag set up. And it was just like it was like a blank space.
That does look cool. Yeah. It actually looks cool watching people do it because there's virtual walls between them, and it's weird to see them walk around each other, and they can't. It's like you're right next to them, and they're just like no idea. No idea what they're doing.
Yeah. I watched someone do it. That was really cool. So yeah, I've done VR.
So what do you have any thoughts of like the future of VR and how that would be and how life is going to be like with like more advanced VR?
Yeah, I mean, I think augmented reality is like probably the future, whether we like it or not. I don't like it. You know, I'm truly like an old man when it comes to like I love the face to face. There's something human about this.
Yeah.
You know, I grew up doing a lot of camping and stuff like that. I'm not like I don't go camping now as an adult because I'm not insane. But no offense if you do.
No, I have the same feeling as when I was younger. I thought it was cool. I thought when I get older, I'd be like, yeah, that's a thing. And now I just love being comfortable.
Dude, during the pandemic, I almost ran off into the woods. I thought about it like because I lived in this apartment that was literally the size of like your average bathroom. in the
Okay.
city, and they like Chicago with like a strict like police monitored like lockdown. You cannot leave. The parks are closed. You cannot be outside unless you have a grocery bag and you're going to get groceries.
Oh my God.
Or to like the pharmacy, and there's no other reason, and the police would like everywhere, and so like I would walk around with a grocery bag just to leave my place.
That's what I
Like,
used to think about that
the
when I
world
was
turned
driving
into a
around.
police state.
Yeah, I was like, do I have like a grocery bag, or do I have proof that I'm going to work? I would think that way.
Chicago was nuts during and that's like it was insane. Anyway, I don't know where I was getting.
We were talking about VR and like how it looked like in the future, and you were talking about
VR.
augmented reality.
Yeah.
and
I
you
almost ran
said-
out into the woods. Yeah.
you
The
ran
city
out
was
into
so
the
locked down, I
woods.
almost ran into the woods. So
Yeah.
anyway, you know what I was getting at. Anyway, but Chicago like literally turned into like a weird like police state where like you would go to like the the hottest neighborhoods that were always packed on like a Friday night. It was just like a little ghost town. It was like chilling. You'd be the only one out. It was nuts. So I did that a few times. But there's something nice about like being human and face to face and like actually experiencing it. I understand face tracking software is getting better. The little meta me's that they have that look terrible are gonna go away.
Well, the meta me's were so weird looking, and I did see. I think I know what you're talking about. Where's the sensors on the
Face recognition.
I keep wanting to call it an Oculus. It's not called an Oculus anymore. It's called a Meta Quest now.
Yeah.
Has cameras and stuff facing your face, and then you take your phone and scan your face,
Yeah.
and then that images puts it on you, and then it looks just like you in the metaverse or whatever virtual reality thing you're in.
So augmented reality sounds cool. I think it's going to happen eventually. I don't know if it's going to happen as fast as Zuckerberg wants it to happen. But I also think, like, as far as like gaming goes, is it still called the Omni? Do you know what the Omni is? It's the little
Yeah, it
circular
sounds
thing that
familiar.
they stand on,
Oh, okay.
where you can like run around on it and
Yes.
stay in
Yeah.
place.
Okay. I didn't know that's what it was called.
I think that's what it used to be called. I don't know if it's still owned by the same company, but I know years ago I saw it and we talked like as a family we talked about getting one, like when the technology was like really early.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm glad we waited because I'm sure it's much better.
Yeah.
now.
Cool. It is kind of weird because it like locks onto your waist.
Yeah.
And you're just kind of like.
Yeah, I think when that gets good, because there's gonna be like it's gonna come out and there's gonna be like a 5-year span where it's like just clunky and bad, and like I'm not gonna touch it then. But like once you get to the second or third generation of that, like it's gonna be so.
I've
cool.
seen a couple different versions where it looked pretty legit. Like some were just on their shoes. That was the craziest one I've seen,
Yeah,
where it's basically.
it's a little ball.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Oh, yeah. There was a ball. Yeah, there's a ball, and then there's one that's more like a treadmill. But there was literally one. There were shoes, so each shoe had a mechanic of its own to try to keep you in the middle of the spot. Yeah.
That's so cool.
So, but it's also there's going to be a moment in time though when we're going to get plugged in, and none of that's going to matter because they already got monkeys and stuff playing pong, and he's just plugged in, and that's
I
it.
know, dude. I don't want. I will not do a brain chip. I will say right now, I will never do a brain chip.
You're on your deathbed. You're 89 years old.
No, I will not do a brain chip.
You know, but no, we're gonna pull you. We're putting you on the servers. We're not giving you. You want to go on the servers?
No,
You
dude.
No?
I'll just die in peace. I'll die in peace. You're never chipping my brain, dog.
I feel like it's gonna happen anyways because I post a lot. Probably not as much as I used to, but
Yeah.
younger generations probably post even more. And I think there will be a version of you. You know, because they're collecting data on you anyways. I don't know. There's a South Park episode like this, by the
Yeah,
way.
we're getting really close to the point where that is like becoming like very, very feasible.
Yeah.
Like very, very like in the next like 15, 20 years, like in my lifetime.
Well, that's why I'm getting scared. I think it's happening even faster. So there is now artificial intelligence art, and recently, someone that used one of these software that's like one's called DALI 2
I've seen,
and
I've seen the images.
Midjourney.
Yes.
And it won a huge contest. Now, obviously, part of it winning was to drive the conversation and promote the contests and stuff like that. But obviously, they were talking about like, is that really art? Because he didn't make it. His argument was, well, he tried it so many different times and he put all kinds of different inputs. You know, you put like, I want it to be dark, I want it to be blue, I want it to be morning, I want it to be like this, until it was like, okay, I want it. This is it. This is great. But if you just go more in the future where it's higher resolution, maybe it's not building just a 2D thing, it's all 3D.
Yeah.
You know, I guess the question really is once it's high resolution where you can't tell if you're in VR or you're not in VR, are you still trying to make the decision to be in the real world, even though you really can't tell the difference?
I mean, it's your actual body. I think you need to actually like, take care of your body.
Mm-hmm.
And I think you have to be in the real world to take care of like your physical body.
That's
your
a
physical
good.
form.
That's a good comment.
And I think that's important. I think that's like, I think like being in VR is great, but like I think if you're like morbidly obese, like you would. I mean, you know, to me, like the value of like the Omni and like the physical like moving around technology. The beauty of that is like, oh yeah, instead of like sitting down playing video games, I could be like very actively like running, jumping, like crouching, and like sensors inputting all that motion. To me, that's like exciting. I'm truly like a little bit of like, I'm not a fitness head. I'm not like a gym buff, but like the idea of like instead of like playing Call of Duty on your couch sitting down, like you're actually like running around and you're getting the experience of like going around a map and like you're actually like crouching. Like that could be like a really immersive. Like I could see your heart really racing.
That
playing
is
that.
so. There's a game in Meta Quest called Population One.
Yeah, I know they have some stuff like this already.
And that's it's pretty close. It's actually it's when I kind of shifted to I stopped playing games like Modern Warfare on the computer.
Yeah.
Because I like this is better. So I'm looking down, I'm cocking the gun, I'm reloading.
Yeah.
The mics are pretty good. So there's actual teamwork. That's one thing I never really quite liked. And supposedly there's an update on the new Call of Duty for those talking about there, but you can't like slide and stuff on the new Modern Warfare, which
Yeah.
like I always thought that was dumb. I'm like, that's not the point.
Yeah.
The point is to act like this is real warfare, and I got to peek around the corner and like all that. That's what I want.
Yeah, it's in real, yeah. Like the reality is like real war. Like you're not like, oh, I'll just lost a life. It's like you have one.
Yeah,
You
you
know
have
what I mean?
one. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a totally different.
Yeah, the respawn is the whole like the kid, and that's when kids get crazy. That's how you can tell the lobby's different. It's a respawn lobby. It's always kids screaming at the top of their lungs.
Yeah. You want to stay out of there, and there's a reason why. So yeah, I mean, yeah, to me that's like appealing. Like the idea of like a more physical, like you know, my family, like, dude, really religious parents. We weren't really like allowed a lot of stuff growing up, but we were like, we did get like the Nintendo Wii, right? And that's I think like the start of like
An interactive video game.
yeah. And there, I mean, there's predecessors before it, like sure, but the Wii was like the mainstream.
Yeah,
like,
plus it was the mainstream one that was cheap enough. Like everybody had the Wii.
Exactly. So I think like a more interactive game where you feel like you're a part of it and you're actually moving around. To me, that's like appealing for the sake of like like immersion. I think that would be super cool. If you've ever done VR, you already understand that like the immersion is such a big part to it. And then also just like like exercise. Because I think you still want to take care of yourself.
You're right. I feel like there's going to be It's not going to be like pure. Well, there will be the people that are never going to touch. You know, there'll be nomads in the middle of the woods. They don't want to deal with it at all. You know,
and then there's fun too.
Yeah, that seems fun too. But then there's going to be that combination where they could build a studio or build some kind of arena, and then with augmented reality. And then it really feels real. But then there's the people that are just straight up plugged in. I mean, I feel like I'm like building a reality show where you have to go do a task, and they have one group of people who are straight up plugged in, and the other group of people, it's that mixed reality.
Yeah.
I'd watch that show.
That'd be fun. It'd be interesting.
Let's do that show.
That'll be on in 5 years, 5 to 10 years, I think.
Do you have any other feelings of like how the future would be if, per se, like no one really had to work as much anymore? Like in Japan, I feel like if they had cities like in Tokyo where everyone gets like a certain amount of income, but you're living in like a tube, you know, because you don't own anything in the future, it feels like in these future cities. Like, so you're living in a tube basically where you can sleep and there's a little TV, but once you get out of the tube, you go on throughout your day. So everything's just kind of like a button. You know, so you don't need a full house and stuff like that. Maybe you're like an artist to make a little extra money. Transportation's all like Uber and automated, you know.
Yeah.
So would you be down for a world like that?
No, I do not want to live in a bank tube. I don't want to.
What if you have a nicer place? Maybe you have a nicer place, but everything
nicer
is
tube?
kinda,
I
yeah,
have
a
a
nicer
premium tube.
But everything is kind of automated. Like you don't really cook. Cooking is like a fancy thing you do. You have to like order your cooking tools, and they would have to be delivered in like 30 minutes.
No, I'd hate that.
No?
I'd hate that like 100%. Not for me, man. I mean, I grew up. I love doing stuff. I love the sensation of doing things. I think it's part. I mean, I grew up in rural Iowa, so I think there is like this big like value of like you see where everything comes. You see the process behind like your food. You know what I mean? Like you see like the full like, you know, from the moment the egg's laid to like it being on your plate. So I think that resonates really with me. And so, like, moving people further away from that, to me, is, like, scary a little bit.
What I think is scary, because I didn't start thinking about this, because I have a daughter, she's 13 years old, and then I have a niece and a nephew, and they're, like, damn it, 7 or 8, around there.
Yeah.
They're even younger. And what's going to happen with them is they don't really know a world without technology, so all that becomes so normalized that it's so tough to think the way you're thinking. because there's going to be less people that even have the experience of like.
Yeah, but there's always going to be people that need to do it though.
That's a great point. That's what I always say. Like when people complain about hunters is like why do people go hunt anymore? And I was like, well, what if no one hunts? Like that. What happens if something shit? Then now we know no one knows how to hunt. Like we're kind of screwed then, right?
Well, here's the thing: dude, this is something I think about all the time. I almost made. I'm recording a comedy special in December.
Okay, cool.
An album.
Right.
So I'm gonna release it on audio, and I one of the original names for it was gonna be Urban Rural Divide, which is like, but the name's like too serious for what it is.
A little bit, but it's kind of funny because it's gonna be a comedy special.
Yeah, but that's something that I think is really important. Is like. Because I mean, I live in the city, and I love the city. You know what I mean? But I also like love small towns. I don't have like a preference really. Probably cities because there's more comedy clubs in cities.
Yeah, there's more stuff to do, is what it really is. Yeah,
there's a lot more work for me in cities.
yeah, that's true.
They pay me a little better. A few more, a lot more people to perform.
Yeah, less VFW work. You know.
Yeah. Hey, love me a good VFW.
Yeah, I'm sorry. That's right.
That's God's country. We love the veterans of foreign war. You love doing a show where a man is smoking inside, you know?
Yeah. Like everyone's smoking inside.
You're like, you were on a ventilator and still smoking? Yeah. My man. He's like, I'm plugged in.
Yeah, that's not what we were talking about on this show, sir.
Yeah, man. No, but we got it plugged in. No, but yeah, I think like there is always going to be people that need to produce, and I think we're pushing them further away, and I think it's like, I think we need to like. This is so regressive of me. I think people like will slap me in the face for saying this, but I think like there needs to be like some like we need to sustain small towns and like keep them together and like give them access to like education and medicine.
I see. Yeah, right. Because if they all go away, because I'm from a small town in Armstrong County, and that's kind of what's happening. So the high school got kind of moved, and like now it's like
the
combined.
Politicians gutted it.
Yeah, and so now there's not like a big place in the middle of town. Now they are building a college, a BBC college, Butler College there.
Good for them.
So maybe that helps out. But like the main, whatever gave the jobs was the PPG factory. That left. Everything left. They took out the train and they put in a nice trail for everyone to walk and run.
That's
so
fun.
Now,
that's cute.
That's cute and fun. But now looking back, it's like, well, what if we wanted to get to the city?
Yeah.
So like when you say things like that, I think like, man, if we had bullet trains like they do, I don't know why I said it like that, but like they do in Japan.
Yes.
And it was easier to get from the city to these small towns. And because of some technology, you can learn now further away from the cities.
As of the past week, I'm all in on better trains. I love I took public transit here. I love public transit. That's my favorite, dude. I hate when people are like, I won't take the buses. The buses are scary, or like
right.
Any of that. I love public transit, dude. I'm a public transit fiend.
Public transit fiend.
That's one thing. But no, I think better public transit needs to be. We need we do need the bullet trains.
That would be great because that would incentivize people from those small towns. They don't have to go as far for their jobs, or they can make a job there or start a business there.
Yeah,
and they'll thrive more. Yeah.
Also, I think there needs to be said that like. The beauty of VR is that you can live in a small town and still have access to all the entertainment in the world.
Exactly.
So that's something that could be an appeal too. But yeah, I just think I think politicians are like gutting small towns with like they're taking away the schools, they're taking away the medicine, and then in 5 years they're gonna point to the small towns and be like, look at those idiots who are undereducated and sick.
Right? Yeah. It's like you did this to us.
Well, they did it in Detroit, they did it in Gary, Indiana, they did it in West Virginia, and now they're doing it to Iowa, and it's like the same thing. You see it all the time. Then they're like, oh look, and they're not making any more jobs for themselves, and it's like, well, yeah, because you got rid of all their ability to do so and live there.
It feels like an old folks home. Is like, but a town.
Yeah,
it's a whole town, old folks home, and the only thing that's really like making money is we have a hospital, which is the number one employment. I think maybe next to the schools.
Yeah.
And then each small town now has more and more medical facilities,
and
that's kind of what
taking it away. Though. Like they're like making them like consolidate schools.
Yeah, it's all consolidation for other private companies and stuff. Where now we lost all the cool little things we have. Like the town I live in, it used to have 100 bars. 100 bars.
I love that. That's your priorities are in the right place. We have one church, 100 bars.
I think we're down to 2 bars now. 2 bars in this town.
No way.
It had 100 bars at one point in time.
Oh, your town used to be cool.
Yeah, I know, right? Well, everyone just would roll out of the factory and right into the bars. Like, how fun was that?
That's
no one
fun.
had cars.
Yeah.
That seemed like a great time.
You get rid of the industry. It's fun, man. But the problem with Iowa is like, this is so anti-technology, but it's everything that I think affects the world, which affects technology, is like the farms have all like been bought out by like major corporations. So like Tyson, they are like the number one like meat producer in the country. Now they've given farmers like bad contracts for now. Farmers, instead of owning the pigs or owning the cattle, they rent them to Tyson. So farmers don't even own what they're working on anymore. The farmer used to own 1,000 pigs. Now a farmer rents.
Yeah, he rents or leases.
Yeah, and so everyone just has rental pigs and rental cattle.
That's like the whole world. I mean, that's why I talk about living in these smart cities, but you're kind of leasing and renting your entire life.
Renting
no one owns
people.
anything.
Renting is killing people. I think we're gonna have a generation. This is my I don't know if this is political.
Hot take. Yeah, hot take. Here we go. We're clipping this. Get ready.
Take it. Dude, we have a whole generation where everyone's renting everything, and we love the efficiency of renting. But at the end of the day, in like 30 years from now, instead of renting a home and instead of like paying equity to buy a home in 30 years, you're just renting a home as opposed to paying the money to buy the home. At the end of 30 years, you have a home that's worth whatever the market value of the home's worth. In 30 years, you just threw away money for 30 years and you have nothing to show for it.
And then if like everything's going okay, if you get another pandemic or you lose your job, and then like, oh, you don't have anything because you don't own anything.
Because you rented your whole life and you just threw the money away. That's renting's scary, dude. Renting's scary. Like more people need to I rent. I'm an idiot. You know what I mean? But like renting truly is. Anyone who tells you to rent is they're Grant Cardone. They're a billionaire real estate man who is trying to get you to rent so you can keep buying out all the houses. Yeah. They're
like, don't have any assets. You can't have an asset like that. You need to rent forever. It's like, wait a second. What if something happens to me?
Yeah, well, it's happening with farms now too. So we have a next generation of farmers who are coming in and they're just like renting the cattle and corporations in China are buying farmland in Iowa like crazy, and that's just the Chinese government.
This is a weird thing. It's like, I guess similar but not. But this is the thing I saw on Facebook and people were doing in my small town, renting chickens.
I hate that. Why are we renting chickens?
You're renting because you rent a chicken, and then whatever eggs it hatched, not hatched, but laid, you keep those eggs, and then you give the chicken back.
You know what's crazy is buying a chicken costs you like $30. Just buy the fucking chicken.
I don't know. Really, I don't get what is the thought? Is it like a cool thing to do? Is it fresher? Do they think, oh man, I guess that's the thought process. Like, I know it came from this chicken. Like I got that far.
Just spend the money. Just spend the $10. You know, if you want to buy like a baby chick, like a baby chicken, it literally would cost you like $1. Like it costs nothing to buy a chicken.
I guess the fear is like they get bored of the chicken, then what they do with the chicken? Like
you kill it. It's a chicken.
A lot of people the people that are renting these chickens are too much of a wuss to
kill what's crazy?
a chicken.
Dude, I did not grow up on a farm. Both my grandparents were farmers. Both my parents grew up on farms. I did not grow up on a farm. I did not grow up on a farm. Never lived on a farm. Not in my entire life. That being said, like one time in I don't even know, it was like my freshman year of high school, my aunt called me up. Never done this before. She goes, "We're cleaning chickens." And me and my brothers, we butchered like 200 chickens in a day. Never done it in my life, no experience. And I was just like, this is just what living in Iowa is. It's just like I grew up in town, you know what I mean? We had a movie theater and like stuff to do in my hometown. I grew up in a town, didn't work on the farm, wasn't working with hogs or anything. One day I just killed 200 chickens.
That's how Iowa is. Just one day I woke up and I was like, these 200 chickens are done. They're done.
But no, chickens are true. I look like a serial killer. Can I switch shirts? Can we switch shirts?
Because that's weird. Let's take clothes off. That's not weirder.
Chickens are the silliest animal to kill. Like you chop off their head, they run around, and we chopped off one chicken's head at the start of the day. We left it in the pen the rest of the day. None of the chickens reacted to it. And there's just a headless chicken. Then at the end, that was the last chicken we put through. And you just feather chickens.
So when you kill a chicken, are you just straight up chopping them off, or do you gotta break the neck first?
With an axe or
so it's alive and it's just like, what's up, and then done.
Yeah. It's but you can knock out a chicken by holding it upside down and it'll faint if you want it to be completely faint.
So you don't want to be, because I figured I'd be scared it's just flapping on me.
No, you just grab it by its feet and it'll just knock itself out. Yeah,
kind of like a goat where it just goes sideways.
Yeah, and half the time, dude, you chop off the chicken, it's still moving. Like it doesn't stop. Like I think a chicken lasted 6 years without a head.
And so when you were asked this, it was just like, oh, okay.
Yeah, dude, it was like a Sunday, and we got a phone call, and my Aunt Carrie, I think, she was like, "You want to kill chickens?" And we're like, "No." And my mom's like, "No, you gotta." My mom's like, "You gotta do it. You gotta." And it's like, you have to feather them. You have to put them, so you kill them, and then you put them in boiling water, and then there's this machine with these plastic prongs, and it spins. Dude, it looks like a dishwasher. I'm not even joking. It's a defeathering machine. And it goes, and you take it out and it's defed and you take off the feathers.
Sorry, I don't even know why I'm laughing.
And then you have a chicken.
And you got chicken. That's how chicken's made.
Yeah, you got to blanch them in boiling water.
I wish I had a separate editor, and I would just be like, "Hey, let's go to the B-roll of that."
Anyway, this is a show about technology, and here I am talking about.
I mean, that's technology. I mean, all this stuff to make the chicken. Like, it used to be people had to like defeather, like individually do that. Now it's just for fun. It's just an Iowa fun thing to do on a Sunday.
Delusional. That's delusional that people are renting chickens. That's truly, because you're going to go to the grocery store and buy a rotisserie chicken when it's like, if you're going to rent the thing, just buy the chicken.
It's a capitalism thing. Like, someone sat down and figured out that there was a demographic of people that were totally wanted to rent chickens for whatever
totally ignorant
reason. And they're like, well, I got a bunch of chickens. I could just drive around town. Like, here's Gary, here's Bob.
Chickens cost nothing, dude. Chickens cost nothing.
So you were talking, you said you rent, you said. So that got me thinking of like our age difference, and not to call you out, but are you a Gen Z or are you a millennial?
I'm Gen Z.
So you are Gen Z. So, okay, I am like an old millennial.
Okay, you're an old man.
An old man. And so, I didn't say that, but okay.
People are going to start referring to millennials the way they do boomers. Get ready, dude.
It's already happened.
I'm already doing it. I'm doing it. I'm just barely Gen Z.
This is basically a story about that. So I guess now, like, the way that you used to use emojis is becoming like the opposite. So like Gen Z, if I would send a Gen Z like a smiley face, it doesn't necessarily mean I'm happy. It actually could be like I'm being passive aggressive to you. So when what kind of emojis do you use?
That's 100% accurate. Yeah. Yeah, dude. The other day, I was texting this girl, and she sent me like a colon parentheses smiley face. You know what I mean?
Oh, the old school. Like, it was like literally text.
My heart, like, I literally was like, oh. I was like, oh, this is real. You know what I mean? Like, that's so wild that, like, because a regular smiley face, I'd be like, this is fake or disingenuous. But that is like, it's so crazy how we've like regressed, like, as far as like texting goes, where it's like an OG smiley face. I was like, oh, that's something. You know what I mean? I was like, whoa.
That person is real. See, now you just told all the e-girl bots, you gave them all away. Now they're going to use that in Snapchat, and then all the guys are going to be like, wait a second, I think this girl is real. This is a real girl. So do you use any emojis then?
Yeah, I mean, I use emojis. Like, I use the clown emoji all the time.
And what's the clown emoji mean then?
Genuine hatred.
Yeah.
Genuinely mean.
If
I'm being genuinely mean to someone, I'll send them the clown emoji.
That's hilarious.
I get most of them. People use the skull face to mean what the laughing face means.
Yes.
And the laughing face is now cringe. That's one thing, like, I get it and I use it, but something about it just doesn't quite resonate.
I do get it and use it, but there was a couple of things like the thumbs up and the smiles. I was like, oh, so I can't use them anymore.
A thumbs up is like sending someone K.
That's what I hear. It's like, the problem is, so I feel like I'm busy. I don't know. I shouldn't say that.
And like a heart react is just acknowledging that you saw it. But if you use like a heart of like a certain color, like if a girl sends you like a purple heart or like a yellow or like a white heart, like that means she took them to go to the heart and then like look through the color and choose a different one, which apparently means more. So like, a regular heart means nothing, but like any other colored heart like means something. And to know the differences, you have to understand Taylor Swift's music.
Well, you also got to understand that, like, you got to understand that going, like, the time. It took that person time because you have to scroll through because those hearts are in the back unless you have it on recents.
Yeah, unless you have it on, well, if they're on recents, then that lady is frivolous.
But what I was trying to say was, you know, when I'm talking to people, sometimes I don't want a long conversation. I want to be quick. So when someone says, hey, I'll be there, or I'm sending an address and they're sending an address, and I just want to say, okay. I don't want to say K anymore because that's
so mean.
Not me. And I send the thumbs up. But now I'm thinking I am being a dickhead to everybody. I just want to acknowledge, yes, I got your message of the address. You know, I'm not ignoring you.
Yeah.
But now I guess I'm doing the opposite. I'm being even meaner.
Yeah.
So what's the appropriate thing? So if I sent you an address.
Heart react. Just
a heart react.
Yeah, heart react is like an acknowledgement that you saw it. Yeah. Doesn't that suck, dude?
It does suck because it reminds me of when Instagram started doing that. It was a heart reaction because Facebook was thumbs up.
Yeah.
I remember thinking like.
Oh, that's a lot.
Yeah, I know this is the wrong thing to say, and I apologize. That's always the wrong thing to say before you say the wrong thing. But I was like, That's kind of gay. I don't want to. I don't want to have the heart
I'm not
reaction.
trying to heart react, my man.
Yeah, I don't want to heart react.
I'm not in
my
love with
man.
you. I'm not lusting for you, dog.
Exactly. But I got over that at one point where I guess that's just the new like.
Yeah, it is 100%. That's 100% what it is.
You know, and I do remember it feeling weird. I would put up like a selfie, and a couple of my boys or friends would like it, heart it. They would heart it.
Hear about that?
And I'd be like, bro, what's. And I guess you're just.
This is for the ladies only.
Yeah, I guess you're just showing me that man love, that bro love.
Yeah, hey, this beach pic, women only. No men like this. You like this, dude? You're out of the closet. You're out, bro. You're out, dude. I want all 5 women who follow me to like this. No one else. No one else.
No one else.
Sometimes
it's so true because I would be upset at the same time if I got less likes.
Yeah,
you know. But I'm also going, well, I don't want the heart ones though, not the heart ones from the guys, because that's not what I like. I'm not that way, guys.
Yeah, well, Instagram's algorithm is like so interesting because like truly you only see or like in your most favorable areas you only see the people you really care about. Like there's people that I follow on Instagram that I haven't seen in years.
Yeah,
it feels like it's like, and they're posting. You know what I mean? And so the point where it's like I have like. I don't know, like 2.4, 2.3. I don't even know how many followers. It's like over 2,000 followers on Instagram, right? And I only get like 100 likes a post. I posted something like a month back. I had like 90 likes on it. I was like, it was like a decent, you know what I mean? It was like other people post
at least show
things.
it to my friends. It's
like,
so weird.
Well, what's interesting is now it's like, well, if you're the top 100 people who actually care about what I'm posting, like now I'll go through the likes and I'll be like, this girl's like my last 3 posts, which means the algorithm knows that she likes me. She must be looking at my profile. Like she's one of the 3, you know what I mean?
I go through Snapchat, and if it's
stories?
constantly like I see who looks at my stories.
Yeah.
And if you're constantly like the top 5 people, I always think, and it's probably not always true. I'm like, yeah, she's into me.
Yeah,
she's
dude.
into me. It's so terrible to think that way.
I think that's kind of how it works vaguely. I'm not sure. It truly is like I stopped. I mean I still do sometimes, but I've kicked the habit of like going through who views my stories.
I try. Yeah, I've been trying to mentally do that. It's tough. And even for work, because sometimes I want to know, you know, like, oh, who I need to follow this person back because, you know, they might know this person to get an editing gig over here.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Professional.
But it is weird for Instagram, it was more personal.
Yeah, it's not creepy, it's professional. That's my excuse.
Yeah.
Being a professional. I'm actually very professional.
Right.
Denise, message me back. Okay. You saw it right away.
Right?
I
saw it right away.
I sent you 4 messages. Mm-hmm. Why aren't you to respond back?
You liked me, then I liked you. You liked me, then I saw you looked at my Snapchat. You're the top 5. You're within that first 30 minutes. So, like, we're going out now, right?
Riddle me this. The modern day Romeo and Juliet. You got to poison yourself. There's no other way to get her attention.
Oh, my goodness. It's kind of scary you put it that way.
It's wild, though. It's wild. But, like, it truly, like, people expect you to play that sort of game with, like, relationships now. And, like, or don't view their story for a day. And, like, and you're like, well, maybe that will get them to respond because they'll notice that you didn't see. But it's like, but the second I stopped watching my story, I don't play any of those games anymore. I'm like, I'll watch everyone's story. I don't give a shit. I don't care. I'll do everything wrong. I've started double texting people because you're not supposed to.
Double bump?
I don't even care.
You've gone to the double bump?
It works now, though. It's so crazy. My last girlfriend, we broke up. You know, and she was like doing that toxic thing where she was still like staying in contact. And she's like, I was talking to this guy who double texted me. Oh my gosh, that felt amazing. And I was like, well, I'm double texting now. I don't care. If I want to talk to you, I'm gonna message you a second time. It works. It works. Like I don't even care.
Everything is flipped. Everything is flipped,
sense.
man. I used to have the problem of measuring. Like, I'd be like, you know, I'd go back and I'd be like, I've talked too much in the last couple of days, and she's talked barely at all. Yeah, you have the right mindset, to be honest.
You got to pull back.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, I hate it. I'll be like, you've not been messaging me. All right, you want to get dinner or what? Like, it's truly not good. It's not good because, dude, I can't play the games. I was, pre-pandemic, I was out here on the apps, you know? I was trying to, when the pandemic hit, I was like, well, now's my time to date. because otherwise I'm doing open mics every night, doing comedy on the road. You know what I mean?
Everybody's sick. This is a good time to see the ladies.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, during the pandemic, I was like, well, maybe now I'll fall in love. You know what I mean? Maybe now that I can't do open mics, maybe I'll find someone now, and then once we get through this, then I'll just have someone to go home to every night. That'll be nice. That's what it is.
Yeah.
That's what I was hoping for.
Right.
It didn't happen, clearly. But there's this girl I was talking to her, and she listens to the Call Her Daddy podcast.
Okay.
And all of her friends, like, I'd be with her friends, and they would talk about it, and it was like, and they literally were like, you have to message and wait an hour at first, and then 2 hours, and then right away, and then right away, and then an hour, and then 2 hours, and they were like talking to me, and she would talk to me all the time about this, and it was like, you got to do this, you got to do this. Women got. I learned on this advice as a woman, you got to do this, and you expect the guy to do this, and it was just like, and I remember like in that moment, I was just like all of her friends are saying the same thing, and I'd talked to like other like women friends of mine, and they were like. They had this
it's like this freaking long checklist,
and they were all listening to the same podcast, and they were all getting the same notes. And at some point, I just go, I'm gonna message you when I message you, and if that's a game changer, if that's a turnoff, then I'm out. Like I can't do this anymore.
Barstool pushing well, I guess Call Her Daddy is not on Barstool anymore, but they do have a bunch of podcasts like that now, and that's all I see is like sex and female and dating podcasts.
Yeah,
and they're all kind of like that. But it reminds me of a TikTok though, where it was like, this is how you look sexy. Look into the camera, raise one eye up, look to the side, look to the side again, and then whip your head around, and then cough, and then touch yourself. Like, wait, what? Is that working for you? wait, I don't even know what you're doing anymore. You got the muscle there. I see. You got to get that chin line.
I just saw TikTok for that this morning. I just saw TikTok. It's like if you want to take it, you gotta bite down. And
I do kind of do that. See, what I do in the mirror at home is I shave. I kind of shave the line in there.
Oh, that's smart too.
So this is like thinner, and this is like longer. So there's like a sort of imaginary line.
Have you seen that thing where people they'll like shave in like six packs into like their chest hair?
There is a female comedian that I follow. I wish I remembered her name.
That shaves a six pack into her chest hair.
She does the makeup.
Oh,
and
really?
I thought it was like a bit. And I thought it was a one-time bit, but she does it all the time. I still think it might be a bit, but she does it all the time. It's constant.
No. Are we doing makeup muscle? Are they contouring on their arms for muscles?
I bet a lot of people they do. I mean, they're contouring your face, so why not start doing it everywhere else? I'm not gonna lie, I do toss this video into Adobe Premiere, and I do like soften up our faces a little bit.
All good. My eyes look like so dark. Like,
so I'll make us look a little bit better.
Thank you. I need that.
I love how we'll make fun of something, or I make fun of something, and then immediate go. Well, actually, I do it too. Just in a completely different way that makes it cooler.
I'm a Photoshop guy.
Okay,
You'd be surprised how I Photoshop my photos on Instagram. I'll be public about it. I don't care. Like if I see a photo, like I'll clean up my acne on a photo, like or whatever. You know what I mean? Like I 100%. I have access to it. I have the knowledge to do it. I will be fake as shit. I don't care. I don't care. I'm a big old phony. I'm a big old phony. I'm out here trying to get likes, build a following.
So I know this is like going back, and now that you said you're a Photoshop person, I forgot about that.
I love Photoshop.
So what do you think about this artificial intelligence stuff?
The AI paintings?
Yeah, the AI paintings, or at least maybe for a sense of just using pieces of the software to not just do a whole piece of art, but like to help you out do other
I'm glad
things.
we went from this to the like the inner like communication of data, how that's changed. Yeah, I mean, I think
podcast.
I think AI technology is a lot like texting women. It's always changing.
Yeah.
And I think it's getting a little too good. No.
It is getting real good.
I think it's amazing. I think AI drawings are amazing. I've seen the Dali or whatever it's called. I'm probably butchering that.
No, it's Dali and Midjourney are the top two, right?
Dali, it's amazing. The Winnie the Pooh slapping Vladimir Putin, and it's like a perfect rendering of it.
Yeah.
I think it's getting crazy good. I think it's fun. I think it's like a fun. As of now, it's a fun little gimmick. In the future, I think it can be really intense. I think if you're an artist nowadays, I think you got to feel like there's always going to be something beautiful as what the human form can do, pen to paper. But it's really, a lot of commissioned artists where it's like, I want this really obscure thing in my head to be painted. I'll pay a commissioned artist to make it happen. I think that work's going to go down. If that's a space you're going to like custom art, I think a lot of that stuff's going to disappear. So yeah, I think it's a little scary if you're like if you're an actual artist. But
do you think like as an artist, like you're gonna have to start trying these technology. Like, okay, here's a weird question. As a comedian, would you use like there's a software like Jarva? No, Jarvis. I'm sorry, Jarvis.
One of my
And-
clients is obsessed with it. I've never
Really?
used it. He literally will not stop talking to me. He'll call me and be like, "Dude, Jarvis is so good." And I'm like,
I want to hear what he said about it being good.
He just he works in like he's a one-man marketing
Marketing
company. And
company,
so he's a
okay.
one-man marketing company. He makes way more money than he needs to, and he's just like found ways to like automate all of his processes. He's really good at all of his processes, and Jarvis is one of those things where he'll like he has like I work for a CT scanner company. I don't know anything about CT scanners, and he'll just Jarvis like the websites.
That's so great. Because when I was building the website
Copywriting.
to my company, by the way, the gateway.media, that is the company, does all the broadcasting and stuff like that. So all that stuff. And I did my website. I used Jarvis because you have to write so much stuff, you know.
So much.
The company does video production and we do audio production and we can make thumbnails. And I just hate that. I can't stand that kind of copyright. So I jumped into Jarvis and I was like, this is kind of nice. It wasn't going word for word. Like I'd put in a paragraph or I put in a sentence and it would give me something and then I would go and fix it a little bit.
Yeah.
And that was kind of the operation. So could you see yourself doing that for like jokes and material, not necessarily so you could use the whole thing, but just to help yourself brainstorm?
No, and here's why. And I think this is something I'm gonna go short, small picture, then big picture. Okay. I think jokes need to relate to something that's unique and relevant with the people around you. And I think there is something innately human about that. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe in 5 years from now I'll be totally embarrassed by saying this. But I do think there's something like you need to be able to relate to other humans in a way that's like visceral and immediate. And I think the only way you can do that, or the best way you can do it, you know, maybe at an entry level you can come up with a Laffy Taffy joke. But I think stand-up in particular, I think that has to be done human. I think you have to relate to the human condition. And I think robots can emulate that and get close, but I think there's something very visceral about it. And also, I think AI can get to the point too, but also like word economy and like wording and like using specific dialogue and like understanding that dialogue's ever changing and inflection and all that. So I think inflection's a big thing too.
Yeah, I mean, have you ever watched, obviously you're probably going to say this, but you watch a stand-up comedy and there's sometimes, I feel like the guy doesn't even have any real material. Like he's not even saying jokes.
Yeah.
But his performance, you're laughing your guts off and you're like, wait, there's no jokes in this.
I was just talking to someone the other day about this. I have Jim Carrey. Like, can you imagine going up? Like, Jim Carrey comes from an era of stand-up comedy where there was such a demand for comedians that there was no real open mics. You went straight to club shows.
Yeah.
Showcases. And, like, because you could not do can you imagine Jim Carrey at a bar open mic? Can you, I mean, like running around you know, this is my character, you know, this, all that at a bar open mic, like everyone would be like,
Get
like,
the fuck out, bro.
You'd just be annoyed. You'd roll your eyes. You'd be like, this guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, can you imagine? Like, then there's so many acts of that era. Like, even like Howie Mandel was like a prop comic who did like Howie Mandel did a condescending baby voice, and he was essentially you'd go, "Ooh, is this my handbag?" And it was a bag shaped like a hand. Like when you talk about like truly awful prop comics of the '80s, Howie Mandel used to have a full head of hair, and would do the most terrible prop comic act in the world. Like people make fun of Carrot Top. We should be making fun of Howie Mandel.
I always thought Howie Mandel was a weird dude. Even, you know, knowing
So
all
weird.
the weird things that he has with his, like he can't touch people or things and stuff like that.
Which is crazy.
Yeah, which like I don't understand how you could be in the industry that and like get that far. But like my first thing of Howie Mandel was he did a cartoon when I was a kid.
With the baby voice.
Was it? No, it was called Bobby's World.
Yeah, but it's a baby.
It's a
right?
baby. I go as a kid. I guess I wouldn't think it was a baby, but I guess it sounds like
it was a peer.
Yeah.
My
It's so
fellow
long ago. I'm
constituent.
trying to remember what it even sounds like, to be honest. So
Bobby, he talks like this.
yeah, he did talk. You're right.
Howie would do that voice on stage all the time. Yeah, Howie Mandel stand up is hard to watch.
It's weird.
I
And
think
he's
so.
huge. He's a huge star. Huge star.
Dude, I don't like literally go on Google Images, pull up an image of like Howie Mandel doing stand up in the 80s, and then compare that to like I don't know what happened where because there's some jump in his career where he goes from this prop comic with a full head of hair who's on stage doing like this weird. He does like he's like he talks like this and he does a weird baby and he's like he acts like he's crippled. Like and I'm not trying to sound offensive, but he does it. He does like all these weird like tics and mannerisms on stage, like he's like as if he's like disabled or something. And then at some point in his career, someone's like, "Oh, that guy who does the weird crippled man on stage with prop comedy, he should do Deal or No Deal." Like there's some there's some massive jump in how Mandel's where he goes from this like condescending prop comic to like deal or no deal. And you're like, what happened?
It's the exact opposite. It was almost, maybe someone came up to him and was like, listen, like this is not going to work. It's eventually not going to work. People are going to, you need to jump off this train. And for that to work, let's completely shave your head off. And we're going to start doing daytime TV show. Briefcase. We got this great idea for a game show. All right. Like, okay.
Yeah.
I guess a lot of comedians have moved to game shows, though. So that's not a crazy.
That's fun.
step.
I like it. They're starting to do that in Chicago. Well, anyway, what I was trying to get at is,
Get back to Howie, though. Yeah.
There's something innately human about AI and writing, right?
Yes. Yeah.
But also, I think the second thing is comedy is very particularly human, more so I think than visual art is inherently. Stand-up comedy is particularly. And also, the other thing is like the appeal to stand-up comedy is that it's visceral, it's live, it's in person, it's genuine, and it's authentic and raw, which is why it's survived even in the era of like so much amazing digital content, which is phenomenal and addictive. There's something so specific about seeing something live with a group of people, laughing in a room of people. Like when you watch live stand-up, you actually laugh. Like when you're on your phone, very rarely do you laugh out loud.
It's not the same thing.
When you watch a comedy show, and a good comedy show will make your face hurt from laughing, and it's such like like you actually feel the fucking chemicals.
Yeah, and then your head actually hurts because your muscles are in pain from like just smiling.
But
the
it's a
whole
great,
time.
it's a
good feeling, right?
It's fucking amazing.
Yeah.
It's something that your phone can't give, or I have yet to experience on my phone. Some people may get it, I don't. So that, but also the second thing that when going back to like AI. Right now, I've had some success on YouTube. I run the Roast Battle of Chicago page on YouTube, and we're working on like our thumbnails and like the titles and the description and the metadata and the tags. And I have people all the time who are like, "Oh, you're just doing well on YouTube or TikTok because you're gaming the algorithm. You're gaming the algorithm." I had some drunk guy at a bar, an open mic yesterday, telling me about how his podcast is going to game the algorithm. And the reality is you can't game the algorithm because what the algorithm does is it makes the best content for people, and whatever people like, it's going to give them more of. And like viewer retention matters, right? Like the longer someone watches something, whether it be a TikTok or a YouTube video, the better for the platform, right? Instagram, whatever it is. So as long as you can get people to watch something and they want to click on it, which means a good title, a good thumbnail. And those are two things that are decided by other humans. There's something inherently human about those things. And also to make people watch the full video, you have to make a video that other people like. So when people like get mad and they're like, it's the algorithm's fault. It's like all that the algorithm does is show it to people. It has two metrics, whether they stop at it, whether they watch it all the way through, and whether they like it. The three metrics. And if you can do all three of those things, it means you made something that was just objectively good. I'll see a video on TikTok with 2 likes, and if it's a good video, I'll like it. You know, I've seen, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. At some point, you've probably caught a viral video before it hit virality.
Oh yeah,
just by the odds of things. You probably saw it when it's still in the first 100 likes or whatever. Like that happens. Just good content's good content. So when people always get mad, they're like, the algorithm screwed me over. Either you need to be making more content or better content. And it's like, well, maybe your video is good, but the thumbnail's dog shit. Maybe your video is good, but the title makes no sense.
Maybe you're just making bad content. I was shadow banned because I said something very controversial. No, you're not funny.
People stopped watching you because you said something controversial.
Or that too.
Yeah, there's actual analytics of like, dude, I made a TikTok yesterday, and now it shows you the view retention graph. And I was making fun of Pennsylvania, and literally there was one line where I remember recording it, I was like, well, that's not really a joke, but I still fit it in the video, and literally you can see people drop after that line, and I was like, because every line of the video had like a setup punchline. I did one that wasn't really, and people were like, oh no. I had one miss, and people were like, swipe. And it's like, it's so indicative of like, oh yeah, no, I just made a poor quality decision on my end. Like it's not like, I'm not going to sit down and be like, I didn't get 10,000 likes on this video. What the hell? It's like, no, I made a bad TikTok, and there was one line that just wasn't funny, and like move
I
on to the
have
next
got
one.
obsessive with that. I'm gone in early YouTube when they started showing that kind of data, and you could watch. You're like, oh, everyone fell off at this point, and you go and watch that part of the video, and you're like, all right, I see what I did, And sometimes it is annoying because it's that artist in you. You're like, but I like that there. Why isn't it? If they would just wait 30 more seconds, they would see. Like that, there's a reason.
Figure
That's
it
so
out.
tough. But when I used to make more short films, or like even we were talking about before the show, Yeah, You Like This, which is also on the Pits.
Very good show.
Yeah, that's just crazy, guys. So Matt actually was a fan of Yeah, You Like This.
I love Yeah, You Like This.
And I was like, what? That's great. He's like talking about, I used to watch it all the time. Possibly.
Figure out the introduction. I don't know. Something people should watch. I don't know why more people didn't watch it. 'Cause I remember that's a prime example. Yeah, you
Right,
like
well,
this.
exactly what you're talking about.
Well, Jaeger is that? Is that
Yeah,
the guy's
Jaeger
name?
Jaeger.
Jaeger. Alex Stipula plays him. Very funny, great acting. Love the character. That was a great example of something on the internet I would watch, and I was like, this deserves more views. That's like the one example of like, this is good art. It deserves more views.
Right. Now I totally forget what I was gonna say, but on the other thing you were talking about,
Can you edit those for TikTok?
Oh yeah.
You should go through and make those
Well,
all
see,
short form vertical.
I tried to do it, and the way I did it the first run wasn't very good because
But
it is
hold yourself.
tough.
Like, I respect that though. Anyone who goes, dude, I literally hate it's the algorithm's fault. It's like, no, try something new.
Try something different.
Try something different, man.
Some people, they give up too easily.
Yeah.
With content like that, and I come from. This is so weird to say this. I come from when content was, 16:9 aspect ratio.
Yeah, baby. Now
or
it's
4:3.
9:16.
I even did the 4:3.
Whoa.
So it is annoying for me to I'm thinking I'll just shoot wide and then I'll re-edit for verticals. And it kind of works, but one, it's extra work.
It's so now you have the camera has to keep
Yeah,
the
so you have to keyframe it like we were talking about before. And so I'm in this weird point where maybe I should just start putting the camera sideways. I don't know. But I do want to go back and try to do the you like this and maybe tweak a couple or just make new ones.
Reformat it. It's evergreen.
Yeah, we can make new ones too because Alex is around.
Yeah.
And to do that kind of stuff.
I enjoyed this. I can see that doing very well on TikTok. It's like up there with there's some obscure stuff that does well. You just literally the name of the game is hooking people in, putting something up front that makes someone go wait, what is this? There has to be the wait, what is this up top?
Right. I've seen those videos on TikTok where they don't even end. Nothing. It's just
It's a
something's
loop.
about
It's a
to
perfect
happen.
loop.
Something's about to happen. Loops. Wait.
Yeah.
I thought, where's the?
It's beautiful, man. It's its own art form. It is, dude. Get over it. I hate people it's TikTok. It's a bunch of tweens dancing, and it's maybe on your For You page, but my For You page is fucking beautiful. I don't see any teens dancing.
I 100% agree with that because I had that conversation with people when YouTube was the thing, and I was I'm obsessed with YouTube. I'm gonna build my career on YouTube.
Yeah.
They're what is that weird thing with the kids are just talking in their bedrooms? I mean, you know that thing where you can learn everything ever?
It's
that
beautiful.
thing?
I love YouTube.
Yeah. So I feel that way with TikTok now where people think it's, is it just girls dancing and e-girls? It's no, it's whatever you want it to be.
Dude.
You just got to scroll through for about a couple days.
You know, Chris D'Elia got in trouble for hitting up minors.
Yeah,
trying to DM them and whatnot. Whether or not anything happened is still whatever.
Yeah.
But so Chris D'Elia got in all this trouble. And it was so funny because literally a month back, it wasn't that far ago, he's on some podcast and he was like, oh yeah, I hate TikTok. He goes, I'm on it, but all that it is these over-sexualized youth dancing. And I'm like, that's your For You page. I don't see any of that. When I was on the app in 2019, I saw it a little bit up top. But my For You page is it's guys talking about football. It's it's truly lame.
That's the crazy thing about TikTok is if you've been on it for a long time, you can feel the change.
Yeah.
And not only just for the app itself, but it's so personalized to you. And I think that's the huge difference between TikTok and some of the other social media platforms is it just seems to be better. The TikTok algorithm, I want to say, is better. It sometimes knows what I want to watch when I don't even know what I want to watch.
To the point, dude. So I manage other people's pages, right? Mm-hmm. And one of my clients is an ex-Marine, and the other one's a wedding singer, right? It's when I go onto the ex-Marines page, dude. It's all men being the liberals are trying to kill us. It's all Fox. It's true, but it's all just it's all just Joe Rogan clips or Andrew Tate or ripped guys yelling at the camera whatever hot conspiracy of you know what I mean? It's
hot conspiracy.
But his For You page looks nothing like mine. And the wedding singers, it's all music oriented, and it is some dancing. It is some I'm XYZ starving musician. It's all is, and mine's just an whatever I'm into, and it's just to the point where if my friend were to hand me their For You page, I would know so much about them. By seeing 10
I
videos.
forgot to do that. I'm going to do that on some future shows. Was to show. Well, you don't have an Apple phone, but was to show. This is not the exact same thing, but to show screen time on an iPhone. So right now,
they have that, yeah.
We'll just
I
look
think
at
they
mine
have that
for
on
fun.
Android phones too.
So today, I was working today, so it won't be as crazy. So today, I got 4 hours and 44 minutes. I've been on this phone. Staring at this
Already?
phone.
I've been on it. I was on public transit and I just sit there watching it the whole time.
So if you kind of seen it, what do you think your average highest ever been? Not really counting the pandemic, 'cause I think that's kind of cheating.
My average what?
Screen time, how long are you in your phone?
Yeah, I mean I've probably had days where I was majority in my especially sick days,
Yeah.
or like when I'm on the road, dude. Like when I'm traveling for comedy, it's truly when I'm on my phone the most because like I need to figure out like I did the Pittsburgh like public transit app, right? Like I have to figure out this, I have to figure out this. Like I'm trying to try to get a haircut today. I got to find the barber. I'm gonna work at a library. I got to know which libraries have computers that I can work on. Like I'm on my phone so much when I'm on the road, as opposed to like maybe when I'm sick at home. You know, I might be on it more.
Yeah,
but
I think I was crushing an average of 7 hours there for a while.
that's a lot.
But and the way you're talking about, you might be close. So
I'm probably close.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The problem is with you traveling, it sounds like you're doing more stuff that you kind of need to do.
Yeah.
And I might be more on the TikTok and the Instagram.
Sorry if I'm just more productive than you, Bob.
You got that young Gen Z body over there. That's your thing. I got this old millennial hick body.
Full yins again, dude. I have a joke that I'm workshopping this on stage right now. It's kind of a newer one, but I'm just talking like the different like regions of like hick, where it's like Midwest, you got rednecks. Here you got hillbillies in like West Virginia. And like there's like river rats, you know, and like the bayou people, you know. But like I don't know what.
We used to have a name for the people that lived on this hill that was kind of the edge of town. It was like called Goat Hill. We called them goat people. It's really mean now I think about it, but that's what we called these group of kids at these.
Them's our hillbillies, dog.
Yeah, they're hillbillies basically. You know, they a couple mattresses in the front yard.
Dude, what's so crazy is like, I've been saying dog all the time. But like it's so funny. What I realize now is like, especially living in Chicago, is like a lot of like what to me like redneck talk is the same as like inner city urban talk. Like I don't know why. Like it's been like I don't know if the rednecks just stole it, but like growing up, like the rednecks in my hometown, it was like a bunch of white kids, and they would be like, "Damn fool, what you talking about?" And I was like, you know, and I go to Chicago, I'm like, oh, it's just like urban talk, but like. To me, it's like that's redneck. When I hear someone say, I'm like, damn, these guys are rednecks, and they're like, I'm on the south side of Chicago. I'm like, oh yeah, like in my mind, that's still like.
I think that's TV. I think everyone's watching trash TV.
It's TV and YouTube.
Yeah, that's what that is.
It's so funny growing up in a small. Just like I detasseled corn, I walked beans, I killed chickens. You know what I mean? I did all that stuff.
The killed chickens thing is
but like you know what I mean?
Funny.
Like I still have opinions on like AI. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah.
Like I'll talk to people and they'll be like, "Oh, you're from Iowa? Well, we had the sweet life of Zach and Cody growing." I was like, "Me too, dude." Like, like Nickelodeon made its way to Iowa, dog.
I
like,
had
Disney,
cable, man. It's okay.
Yeah. Oh, dude, I used to play this game on miniclip.com. Yeah, dude, we had all those games. We played all the same games. Oh, RuneScape. Yeah, I did RuneScape. Like, it's like I had all those games, dude. Like we had access to all that stuff. We're not.
I think when, 20, 50 years ago, there was more of a divide because of less internet. So like if you lived in Iowa, you're like, yeah, you didn't have any of that shit because you might not even have had cable. Now it's like, yeah, we have Facebook and TikTok. Yeah, I message my buddy every day, you know, or we FaceTime all the time. You know, that wasn't a thing before.
Exactly.
So.
Yeah.
Hey, I think we're about wrapping this up. Is there anything you need to plug? Or anything what's going on? Because I know you're on more podcasts lately.
Yeah, I'm on Instagram at Matt_Banwart, BANWART, and I'm on TikTok at Matt Banwart. And I've got shows coming up all across the country. If you want me to do a show in here, I mean, I don't think anyone saw this podcast and was like, I got to see that guy live. Him and his weird opinions on AI and cleaning chickens. But if you really want to see me live, just DM me and I'll do a show in your area. I don't know. I'm pretty bookable. I live in Chicago. I run the Roast Battle of Chicago. Look up Roast Battle Chicago.
Cool. That looked legit.
That's
like
really
that.
fun.
Yeah.
The show's growing quick. We get paid for our reviews now, so please watch it all the way through. Like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you. Yeah, do all that.
Yeah, guys, all the stories can be found on the Smart Haus Facebook page. You can check us out at www.thepitts.company, where you can find endless amount of funny and informative content from Pittsburgh. And for bonus content, like maybe some of our conversation we had beforehand, you can check out our Patreon at www.patreon.com/thepitts. Smart Haus is produced by thegateway.company, the gateway to all your media. Guys, this has been Smart Haus. Thanks for watching.